Okay, we're good.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I mean,
it's quite the contrary of the room that I'm in. I got TVs, monitors.
Blake's computer is heating up his whole house right now.
Yeah, literally,
yeah.
straight up.
I have like a small little box stove, and I just like risk a fire for whenever I need heat, and then I have like a person who comes in and fans me with a big leaf whenever I need air
Feed
conditioning.
you grapes and stuff.
Dude.
Yep.
The other day when we were doing Obsession, so whenever Amanda and I were finishing Obsession, the power for my whole neighborhood went out. There was like an animal, all they said was like something like an animal got in the power lines or something. And it was out for like 4 hours. So I have like an electric generator. It's basically just a big battery. And I hooked up my router and my TV, and we finished Obsession, and everything else in the house was off.
With the power out?
Yeah, with the power out.
Do you think that it was someone's like willow wish for an animal to die, or do you think their willow wish was for the power to go out?
Their willow wish was probably to not have to watch the basketball game with their husband, and then that was what the willow gave her. I'm assuming it was a woman, by the way.
Right. That would make the man watching the WNBA, which is progressive of him.
Yeah, true.
Did y'all see Kid Cudi break a wish willow on stage?
No,
I did not.
I just saw a clip like probably 20 minutes ago, so it might have happened last night. But I didn't listen to the audio either. It was just kind of playing. Broke a wish willow and wished for the cast of Obsession to appear, and then they all just came on stage and was just like a party.
That's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty sick. I didn't know he was touring though. I hadn't.
Oh, remember when he canceled the Birmingham show?
Oh yeah.
I was just about to say that.
That was like the very beginning of the tour, I think.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's Totally Biased Music. It's Blake, Trey, and Anthony. Today we are reviewing This Music May Contain Hope by an artist named Raye. That was the Wheel of Fate and Time's doing. It was technically Anthony's artist, so he's taking point here. He's going to tell us all about his fandom with Raye.
Oh yeah.
And then the Odyssey. So got a stacked episode today, but I want to tell you guys, I'm glad we did this. I'm glad that we dove into an artist that we don't know anything about. At least I know nothing about. I'll save my thoughts, but Anthony, you can lead us off. Tell us what you thought. I'm assuming it was your first listen of anything Raye.
Absolutely, yeah. First listen for me, first, awareness of this artist. And, I picked it from that list of, I guess, what was the final top 50? Did we pull it from Rolling Stone or was it from...
It was Billboard. Wasn't it?
Okay, yeah. I think it was something other than Rolling Stone. Yeah, so, I mean, it had some promising kind of like... The format of the album was interesting. I listened to the first track. That was it. And I was like, okay, this is interesting enough for us to kind of discuss. But after listening to this album, I really enjoyed a lot of it, I mean, we'll get into it when we talk about the tracks, but like obviously a lot of Amy Winehouse influence, a lot of that kind of vintage stage show cabaret kind of vibe I got. From this album, but I also got a lot of what I think is her personality coming through the album, so it was a really enjoyable listen. But I did not do it all in one sitting either. I broke it up probably into 3 separate sittings with this album, but overall I had a really good time and was glad that, I'm glad that we have done artists like Amy Winehouse and Arlo Parks on the podcast already, because I think this one is it's a blend of those, plus it's the own unique artists themselves. But yeah, I had a good time with it.
Trey, thoughts?
Not quite my tempo, as they would say on Whiplash, but there were some songs on this that I absolutely loved. Definitely could kind of see that Amy Winehouse influence, a little Lana Del Rey, a little Beyonce kind of towards the end. Like all of those things kind of mash up into one. Like Anthony said, very, very theatrical, kind of little intro, like this song is about, a broken heart or whatever. Like I thought that stuff was kind of cool. It definitely got a little campy at points. But like Anthony said, with the whole personality thing, like this felt very, very unique to like, this feels like something this person, whoever Raye may be, like really, really wants to do. Feels super unique. It's not really much I've heard that's like it, as far as like having like a narrative throughout an entire like record and then playing every single genre of or every single subgenre of pop music in one little record. I mean, there's even like a little swing song in here, which I actually really enjoyed. I think it was it Click Clack Symphony? Was that the one? Oh no, I Hate the Way I Look Today. It was like a little like 1920s jazz swing song, which was fun, coming off of like a Fred Again type beat beforehand. So all over the place. Never really like captured me entirely, but there's some tracks I really enjoyed. Like,
sorry, we lost you for a second, but I think we're good. Yeah, first off, she has 44 million monthly listeners, so we are in the we are a little behind the times because Raye is apparently very popular. One of the songs
and like a TikTok song, like a big time TikTok song. Yes.
Okay.
40 million listens right there.
Yeah, I thought that it was fucking phenomenal. I was very, very impressed with this, and I really, really enjoyed the listen. I will be honest with you guys. I struggled to find bottom songs. I struggled to put top songs as top songs because I like so many of them. My one gripe is an hour and 15 minutes is really long. There are some songs that are really long. But with that being said, like, it works for this type of album that she made. I think her voice is beautiful. I think she says in I Will Overcome, the first track or the first song, that she gets Amy comparisons, and she also gets people telling her that she's not ever going to go anywhere. And I definitely pulled Amy Winehouse for her type of singing and the kind of environment that this album cultivates. Like Anthony said, I pulled Arlo Parks because of the storytelling. Yeah. You know, we talked about Arlo's album and kind of how it tells a specific story. But man, I was so happy that this worked the way it did, because I'll probably listen to a big chunk of this like for a while. I really like when I'm in the mood to listen to this type of music. You know, I go through Amy Winehouse kicks where I'll listen to her albums for like a full day and I just put her on shuffle, and this kind of slides really nicely into that. Yeah, I was very impressed, so I'm super excited to talk about it.
Did you show this to Amanda? This album?
I have not. I have not. And I think she would like it. I think she would like it because, and she's an English singer, right?
She's from got some Brit to it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, just a caveat for everybody. This is 17 songs, an hour and 15 minutes, so we may kind of glaze past some tracks if we don't have something to say about them. But we'll try to get as in-depth as we can with our time. So you can lead us off, Anthony.
So, I mean, the intro track called The Girl Under the Gray Cloud is very much like a spoken word kind of track, but it really introduces the setting of really how this album's going to go. I think she almost does she say like cue the thunder or something, like she talks about thunder and then it strikes. Like it feels like things are happening in real time while you're listening to this album. But it really does set this kind of stage for like a actual production, you know? So, I mean, it's a short track, but it really does kind of set the tone. I think it's a darker opening track, very atmospheric too.
Yeah, agreed.
The only thing I have to say about this track is 7 Negronis for anybody is a lot out.
I know. So, I kind of clocked that too. I was like,
7 Negronis is like that's a lot of booze. So be careful walking home there, especially if you have no umbrella.
Right.
But yeah.
Which is kind of, I mean, like, I think, you know, a couple songs past this, it kind of hits right on what you're talking about too.
Yeah.
You know? Like, there's a lot of messages in here, a lot of experiences too. What'd you think, Blake?
Yeah, I thought it was, I mean, it's I didn't count it as a track. I just had it as this telling us what the album is kind of going to be like. So I didn't really have strong opinions on it. I thought it was cool. I don't think I've ever really heard anything like it to start off an album. So I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree. Okay, let's go to the second track then. So I Will Overcome is like the first big song on this album. And it to me, it's like a statement track. You know, I mean, it's obviously very personal to her. She mentions, you know, point blank that she gets reminder or gets compared to Amy Winehouse, which I think is unmistakable, but this is her own version of herself, you know? So I really like the song. It kind of brings out this kind of gospel vibe to it, you know, like very climatic, very cinematic vibe to it, but it still breathes in itself. It's not hard, not a lot of hard beats in this track, but really it's like a statement. So this is one of my top tracks.
I think the song is super dense, especially like lyrically. There's a line here that says, "I feel syrup strands of blue moonlight pour through the clouds to find me out like a spotlight as if heaven's watching down," which is Absolutely gorgeous writing. I don't necessarily love like the sound of it. I'm not like the biggest Amy Winehouse fan, so this whole like gospel R&B thing isn't necessarily for me. But like I still like the track, and I think it's super. Like I said, it's really dense. It takes a lot, or like should probably be driven into a lot more by me. But not like a bottom track by any means.
I had it as one of my top tracks. Just for the record, like the first like 7 songs of this album, I like really liked all of them. So I had to pick and choose what to put on my top. But I had this because I think it's a great intro track. Like it's the real first track of the album. Kind of gives you a vibe of what the tone is going to be like. She's ripping some vocals like she does. There's a lot of moments throughout the album, but in the song in particular, where the instrumentals kind of die down and she lets her pipes just kind of burst out. And it's definitely a statement track to start the album off. Like this is what, like hearing this, I was like, if this is what I'm in for the rest of the album, I'm gonna be great on Raye. She's got a new fan, so I really liked it. So top track for me.
Yeah. I think Adele is another artist you could throw in the loop with her vocally, right? I mean,
Yep.
potentially you combine those three and you've got Raye,
True.
But so moving on to the third track, this is the one Trey was referencing with Seven Negronis Deep. Beware the South London Lover Boy, right? It kind of it brings up the tempo more in this track than it does the previous two. I mean, in fact, it brings it up a lot now that I'm listening to it right now. It kind of is like, if you're watching a play and the first kind of scene is very dark and murky and one character maybe is on stage, like this is when the lights go down and then the big show of all these characters start, the energy really builds in the production itself, but it definitely does it in this track too. Not one of my favorite tracks, but I do like the way that Raye and these backup singers are kind of like pitching things back and forth. She's saying a stanza and then she kind of says sing and then they'll do it too. It's very active. There's a lot of activity in this song and in the album in itself too.
This is kind of where the theatrical like aspect of this record really like steps into play. I feel like this could be easily on a stage, right? Even like the snappy like swing beat and like the echoey like chorus and stuff like that could be sung by like a little cast of like a local theater. So I thought it was cool. Not a top track for me. Not a bottom.
This is my next top track. I fucking love this song. I love
Jesus Christ, man.
It was such a change from I Will Overcome that it like really caught me off guard. But this is where, and this is the last time I'm going to do this because I want Raye to be Raye and I don't want to continue to compare her. But this is where I started to think of Amy Winehouse, not the first song. This is like kind of something I can see in her lane. But yeah, it's like, it's cool. And she's like you said, her like kind of talking back to her singers and saying sing and she's just doing super unique stuff in this album that I haven't really heard from other people. Yeah, and I just thought it was really cool. Thought it was really upbeat, really got me moving, got me kind of jumping in my seat. So enjoyed a lot.
Good deal. So fourth track is called the WhatsApp Shakespeare. Yeah, the WhatsApp Shakespeare. I got a question real quick. What is WhatsApp? I know it's an app, but what is it for?
It's what a lot of people in Europe and South America
messaging
use for messaging. Yeah.
Yeah, like Amanda's whole family uses it to call and talk.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just like because it works on both Android and iPhone over like data and over internet. I think that's how it started, and then I think people just started using it. Like I remember when I had friends that were like outside the country, I used WhatsApp to talk to them.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, so regarding this track, I don't have anything crazy to write about it except for this track goes in a lot of different directions, which I mean I enjoy as a listener. Really, it keeps you paying attention to what's going on. But there is a part in this song that gave me it was familiar in a sense where it made me relate to another song, and it's not the main part in this song, but it is Destiny's Child "Say My Name." And it's not the say my name part. It's the way that each individual in that group does their chorus. It lingers and then it hits. Like there's a smooth and then a clap, right? I don't know how else to describe it, but that's what it kind of reminded me of. Not a bad song for me, just not one of my top ones, but I liked it.
I love the name of the song. First off, "What's That
So
Shakespeare" sounds like something I like strive to be. To be honest, even though it's definitely an insult. This song is very like you say, kind of Beyonce, Destiny's Child, yada yada yada. This is one of my bottom tracks, unfortunately. Even though I do really like the name, I just didn't really vibe with it. Blake's this top track for you.
It's an honorable mention, and
Okay.
I will say, first off, Trey, she's talking about the WhatsApp Shakespeare killer. I don't know if you were paying attention to that. So I don't know if you should strive to be the WhatsApp Shakespeare, because she's kind of giving off this guy lures women back to his apartment and murders them throughout this song.
I kind of thought more so he was just like a smooth talker, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I didn't know
that's
that
what
he was
I thought.
necessarily a murderer.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's lyrics, lies just to climb into your bedroom door. Now you're fighting for your life on your bedroom floor, and
Okay,
the
well,
devil
I
did
didn't want to do
send him.
that, so let me take one. Let me
That's pretty on the
rewind that.
nose.
Let me rewind that back up. It's not super cheap. I'm gonna take.
Yeah, it's
That
not
sounds
the
like a-
most chill. Yeah, but what's interesting, the reason I had it as an honorable mention, it's enjoyable to listen to, but these three songs, they're all completely different from each other to me. Like the first three songs all give off a completely different vibe, which I think is really fucking hard to do with this type of music, and that's what I found super impressive about it. So I like it a lot.
I would honestly say the
Gotcha.
first 6 or 7 songs give off a completely different vibe.
Yeah,
to be honest.
true.
And I
Yeah.
think that continues to stretch.
Yeah.
That's how the first 7, ironically that Blake mentioned, he loves the first 7. Those are the first 7. Like I listened to that and ended up stopping right there. And it kind of did set a precedent differently, but by no means was the back half of this album bad, or there was just parts that I didn't like as much. But so track number 5 is called Winter Woman. I really like this song. I really like the beat in this song. This is like the first kind of sequential beat production of a song. Does that make sense to you guys? It doesn't go in a lot of different directions. It kind of stays a little contained, but there are parts
Yeah, I
where
get what you're saying.
there are parts where the music cuts out and she kind of flows a little bit. And I love the mantra in this song, or I guess you would call it the hook. I don't know if it would be considered that, but the life goes on kind of part in this song. I really like the way she kind of keeps bringing that back. And this song bangs.
I agree. This is the first song that's gonna be on my top. I love the beat on this. It sounds super like it's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's this steady foray into almost like a hip hop type beat coming from
Right.
these pop tracks from before, and just a little plot twist when we get to Lifeboat. Well, actually, I'll hold on to that. But yeah, so this is one of my top. This song's great.
Yeah, the beat of this is very cool. I'm not gonna put it as an honorable mention, even though I want to, because I gotta save stuff for other songs too. So I really enjoyed it. She does this, the theme throughout this album is I don't know, to me, things are gonna get better, there's a song called Happier Times. It's Happier Times Ahead, Joy, I will overcome, right? The theme of it is definitely persevering in times that are difficult. I also I know I won't be sad forever. Tonight I kissed the bottle on the lips because desperate times require desperate pleasures. That line goes super fucking hard. So really like that. But yeah, for now we'll say it was a good song, but not top, bottom, or honorable mention. Just we like it.
Gotcha. I'm kind of surprised. But anyway, so Click Clack Symphony, the next 6-track featuring Hans Zimmer. I personally haven't seen a lot of Hans Zimmer featured, but I imagine he's really relevant in the pop world. Would y'all agree with that? I mean, I know obviously he
That's a
does
good
movie
question. I don't
scores
really
and
know,
film
to be
scores.
honest.
I don't
would
really
bank
think
that-
so.
No?
I don't think he really jumps into the music world very often outside of film, or when he was doing those
Okay.
concerts and stuff. I don't
Gotcha,
think he's
gotcha.
he's a common producer.
I might be thinking of Danny Elfman does a lot of solo stuff too. So I might have got those two mixed up. But regarding this track, I mean, his blend, obviously the kind of orchestral vibe to it. The strings kind of elevating the song. Really, really nice. I'm not a huge fan of when she does her voice that kind of mimics that, where she kind of gets in this really high falsetto. But I'd really love the way her voice goes down, right? When she really kind of breaks it down, I like that. Not one of my top tracks, but I appreciate seeing a Hans Zimmer on a track list.
God, Trey, your hair's so short. I didn't even realize that until you turned around.
Oh yeah,
Holy
His hair's
shit.
gone.
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't realize that. That's crazy. I thought you like had it back in a bun or something.
No, brother, it's time.
Nice, very nice. Sorry. Anyway, how do you feel, Click Clack Symphony?
Thank you. How do I feel for Click Symphony? Honestly, don't really even hear the Hans Zimmer in this very much. Like it doesn't like jump out. Like I would never know that he was a feature on this. I think the song's fine. It's a medium for me.
I had it as a bottom track simply because I wanted more Hans Zimmer for that same reason, Trey. It's like I can't really tell this guy's here, you know? Like maybe he was Rick Rubening this thing and like he's just kind of more of he's advising, but I just expected more, you know? So I had it as a bottom track. It's not bad. I just wanted more.
Note, I know we're gonna like kind of be tight on time, but just for a fun little side story, I was hanging out with Jalen the other night. We were looking over some of the music he's made recently, which is sick, by the way. But I was like Rick Rubening it, and let me tell you something: Rick Rubening isn't that easy. You know, I got a new respect for the man. It's kind of hard.
All right, fair enough. I mean, you're the new one, so you'll have time to hone that craft. I think
exactly. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so track 7, I Know You're Hurting. This is a long song, but I think it is deliberately long because it is this slow, dramatic kind of build throughout this whole track. Starts off really slow, really dark, but I love the progression in this song. It's one of my top tracks purely for that. Like, I love tracks that start somewhere and really can build and deliver when they get to that point. So that's how I feel about I Know You're Hurting.
I have this as a heavy honorable mention. I think this starts, we always talk about like a 3-track run, and I Know You're Hurting, Lifeboat, and I Hate the Way I Look Today. I think is like fantastic. Even though I Hate the Way I Look Today is like very much like almost like a side quest of the album. These are like my favorite 3 songs in a row. This song's beautiful. Her like vocal, what's it called? Like, when you vibrate, it's like vibrato. Vibrato.
Vibrato, yeah, she sounds just like that too.
Yeah, I mean, I nailed it. Put me in the booth, coach. But yeah, it's beautiful and it's super sad. And I love some sad shit. And then like it's like a flip for the next song, which is like very happy and hopeful. Which we'll talk about in just a second. But continue, Blake.
Yeah, I didn't have it. Oh, did my camera? Oh, yeah, my camera's dead. Sorry, you guys are gonna have to.
Still hear you.
It will come back at some point, but for now, you're just not gonna see me.
Camera can die. Is it on like AA batteries?
No, it's plugged into. It's basically a GoPro. It's not a GoPro. It's an Osmo. But when I plug it in, oh god, now the dogs are freaking out. But when it's plugged into something, like it can still die. Anyway. Gotcha. I Know You're Hurting. Beautiful song. I didn't have it as a top or a bottom. I think her voice is phenomenal. She's doing a lot of different things, a lot of different pitches in this song. And I do love this lyric. Start of verse 2, she says, "You always find some kind words for a stranger. I wish that you could find some for yourself." I think that's really indicative of people that are super nice to other people, but not always super nice to themselves. So I thought that was a great line. But yeah, I like the song. I just kind of had it as a song I enjoy, but not top or bottom.
Okay. Nice.
All right, brings us to Lifeboat. This is kind of like the first on the nose Hope song, I feel. Everything else is kind of before this it's kind of laced throughout the song, but this one, the idea of I'm not giving up yet. I'm not giving up yet. It reminds me of some rapper that I wouldn't be able to know the name of, but I really enjoy this song. It's kind of synthy and has some deep house vibes to it, but it doesn't like this is, y'all know my opinion on house music, or I should say prolonged house music, but in spurts. And I think it like towards the end of this song, it's really only like 30 seconds of this house, but it really builds to a moment of kind of celebration at the end of the song. So I enjoy the movement of the song. It doesn't stay in one tempo for long enough for me to get annoyed by it. And it has breakdowns and peaks and valleys, and the ending really kind of caps it off for me. So I really like Lifeboat.
This is my by and far top song. I think this song is absolutely fantastic. I was shocked to pull up the credits and find out that Fred again was not involved in producing the song because it sounds very much like a Fred again like vocal sample stem situation. I think it's really pretty. I think it could be considered a little cheesy, campy at times, but like it's something you just kind of embrace in a song like this. I think it builds up like beautifully to that like big like house beat explosion. And this like made me actually kind of like give the rest of the album kind of like a double take where I was like, oh, like maybe some of the stuff's a lot better than I initially thought. So yeah, I love this song. I think Lifeboat's excellent. I'm gonna listen. This one is gonna go on like every playlist that I have. Blake, is it one of your bottom songs?
Unfortunately, it is.
God damn it.
Unfortunately, it is. But let me tell you why. I listened to it initially. I listened to the beat. I thought I was gonna fucking love it, and then I don't know. It just got really. It was just really repetitive to me. Like, unfortunately, it just kind of took me out of it.
Man,
and it's like
we're not synced up today at all.
No, we're not. And I listened to it. I was like, this is what I'm feeling right now. Is what Anthony feels about house music. Like that's what I was feeling when I was listening to it, which is really upsetting because I thought I was gonna love it, but just didn't click for me. I don't know. Rare Miss by Miss Raye or Mrs. Yeah. I'm not sure which one it is.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. But so, all right. Next track. I hate the way I look today. Obviously, Blake hates the way he looks today. He's turned off his camera on us, right?
Nice.
So, can you still see us, Blake? I'm curious.
Yeah. I can. Okay. I'll be able to turn. It's charging, so I'll probably turn it back on in like 20 minutes.
Charging. Okay. All right. So, ninth track. I hate the way I look today. I love it. I love the kind of jazz big band vibe that the energy that it brings back. It has that similar energy from kind of not unlike Beware the South London, but it's more cabaret. It's more in-house band. There's live instrumentation. And I think the end of this track, y'all might correct me, but the end of this track, I think she kind of like announces to the people she's recording with, like, we got it, first take or whatever. I don't know. But it breaks the fourth wall. Does that make sense? So yeah. I like that fact. There's a lot of little things like that laced in the album that I really thought. I was like, I like what you did there, Ray.
I have this as a top track, not even necessarily because I enjoy it that much, just because I think it's super fucking bold to put this type of song in the middle of this album where like nothing at all has sounded like this so far, and like nothing for the rest of the record sounds like it either. And I just think I think it's really cool that she did this fucking 1920s 70 piano bar swing song. Yeah, that's it though. Blake, you hate it?
Super bold, little too bold for old Blakey. We're gonna go ahead and throw it on the bottom tracks. I appreciate the idea, not for me. But spoiler alert, that's the last bottom track I got. So it was just those two. I was like, all right, Ray, you had me, don't lose me. But she didn't lose me. She brought it back. But yeah, bottom.
All right. So track 10 brings us the first proper feature, I think, on the album besides Hans Zimmer. Goodbye Henry featuring Al Green. Al Green is the artist who wrote the song Love and Happiness. Love and Happiness. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's an epic kind of feature, right? But I think she opens up with this saying that, this is a sad song and kind of like lays out the track in itself. But the groove in it is really smooth, so that vibes with me big time. That's really all I got for Goodbye Henry. I liked it. It's one of my liked tracks, which there's a lot.
I think getting the Al Green feature is crazy. Like I wonder how. I'd love to hear the story behind that. But yeah, I think it's a good song. Not anything crazy. Not bottom, not a top for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same camp. I thought it was really good. Al Green feature is definitely very cool. This, again, I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but this is also very Amy-esque, very much so. And I can picture her, like, I can picture, like, I don't know if she's popular enough to be like playing stadiums or what she's doing, but I feel like you got to see this show at like 100-person venue somewhere with like chairs, right? Chairs and soft
Candles.
lighting. Like, yeah, that would be the way to see Raye, and that's really the vibes I get from this song for sure.
Yeah, I love the fact it doesn't she like introduce him in the middle of the track, like, all right, let's like now we're gonna like, yeah, she does something to introduce Al Green mid track.
Yeah, she's ladies and gentlemen, Al Green.
Sick, you know, she's real
like,
classy, right?
Her tour ender this year was the O2 Arena, so I don't think she's quite playing a little small. 100%.
She's definitely not. But maybe one day, maybe she does an intimate room tour. I would fucking be there. I'd be flying to London for that.
That'd be insane. Yeah. You know, I mean, like, that's the downside of this kind of massive popularity is like these songs are meant to be in that kind of intimate setting. You know, I mean, you hit it on the head, but like the fact that she probably could never do that again without just doing a private event is kind of a shame. But either way, the music's out there, though. So, all right. So, Nightingale Lane is track 11. Another heartbreak track, big emotion. And her vocals really shine on this one, too. Trying to see. Let's see. I don't remember too much about it, except for that. What do you guys have on Nightingale Lane? Oh, yeah. Big emotions.
Trey?
Sorry, hold on. I'm pulling up the song right now because I'm trying to remember what it sounds like because that's the way my memory works.
So, all right, while you're listening to that,
Blake, go ahead.
Blake, real quick, what is the song of that is called, or it goes like this: some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. What is that song? 'Cause this and that are related in some fashion. You know,
yeah, I don't know why I don't know why I can't remember what that song is, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed, I had 2 top tracks, 2 honorable mentions. This is my top track on the album. I love this song. I think her voice is beautiful. It's such a good song. I don't think it's that sad. Like, it is kind of sad. Like, but she's saying somebody loved me once, someday somebody will again, like the way you loved me. You know, and like, yeah,
hope.
Yeah, theoretically it is sad, right? Like, you think that it's hard to lose somebody you really love, but she also says, I'm capable of loving someone the way I loved you. Like, I think it's more optimistic than she's giving it credit for at the beginning, where well, I guess she doesn't say it's a sad song. She says it's a song about the greatest heartbreak I've ever. So I don't know. I think it's a really, really good song. So this was my top track on the whole album. So
nice. I think it's once again kind of like a step into some of the theatrics that she was like doing earlier in the album. It's like a very, very, very dramatic and like kind of like, especially with the intro at the beginning. It's not a top track for me, but it's not bad. I don't disagree with you on that one, Blake.
Fair.
All right. So 12th track, we're almost there. Is Skin and Bones. I'm not a huge fan of this song, and I think it's mainly due to the tempo of it. I think it kind of stays in that kind of mid-tempo to up-tempo kind of, you know, I call it like a little marching beat kind of thing. So it definitely has a lot of energy to it, but not the energy that I've been most attracted to so far on this album.
Trey?
I like kind of like how upbeat this is, especially coming off of that like dramatic, you know, Nightingale Lane track. I would probably give this like an honorable mention. I think I have 1 top track left, right?
I think so. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, I liked it. Wasn't on any of the lists, but definitely like it. I like the dramatic tone shift from Nightingale Lane to Skin and Bones. I think it's cool to have a nice shift like that. So I liked it. Cool song. Kind of gets you moving a little bit. Kind of gets your head bobbing. Need those every once in a while.
Yeah, every now and again. You know.
Yeah. I think this next track, somebody needs to look this up, but I think this next track is the TikTok track.
It is the TikTok song because my friend Katie, who you've seen in the background a couple times here, when I was listening to this album on my speakers, she was like, oh yeah, you don't know this from TikTok? And I was like, no, I don't know it from TikTok. So this is the one.
Okay, there we go. It has almost 1 billion plays, so that adds up.
That would be. I mean, I would be curious.
This is actually this is one of my top tracks, and I kind of had that before that I knew. So I guess I'm just like with the times and like super hip, you know. TikTok sponsor me. I love the song. I think it's great. It's a bop, as they say.
It is definitely a bop.
It is. It is.
It reminds me of Remy Wolf, kind of. Sorry.
Who's Remy Wolf? Who's Remy Wolf?
She's the one who has the fire on set, run it. That song. I think I've brought her to the podcast before. I don't think we've ever done an album though.
Okay. I was gonna say I'd be curious to know if Katie knew any other tracks from this album or from Raye in general, or if it was solely the TikTok trend track. Right. That would be interesting.
I don't think so.
But so, Where's My Husband? It was fast and simple, but like it gives me kind of Beyonce vibes too, like more upbeat. You know, I don't think you're ready for this jelly, right? It gave me that kind of vibe, but that doesn't resonate with me. So, bottom track for me.
All right, that's fair. I think, as Trey said, it definitely is a bop. I haven't seen any TikTok videos like this with this song, and you guys know I'm on the big T, as I call it nowadays.
Is that what you call it? Yeah, hold on, really quick. Can we talk about this?
The big T.
I thought you were like anti-social media, but then you picked up like the worst social media.
Preach.
Well, this is the thing. I am done posting on social media, essentially. Every once in a while, I pop in, throw something on the story. But yeah, I needed something. I saw that absolutely hammered rant the other night. What was that about? It was about Eminem and Jay-Z.
Yeah, because you name dropped.
But if I was on, if I kept Instagram, I knew I would just keep posting, and I needed a break from posting. So I deleted the Instagram app, and I downloaded TikTok, and then I fine-tuned my algorithm, so my Big T algorithm is like spot on. It's got great content on there, you know. So
I love it.
So that's why I have it. Anyway, I thought this song was it has its time and place. It's not a favorite of mine, but it's not a bottom. I don't know, I could definitely see it in the right circumstances. Not even in a TikTok video. You could use this in a movie. Like there could be I'm picturing a scene, hasn't really come to me yet, but when it does, I'll tell you guys.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, hold on to that.
I'm trying to think of how that could fit into Obsession somehow. Just the "Where's My Husband" type of vibe with me. There's something there. But, all right, so next track is called "Fields," and it features Raye's granddad. I'm assuming Granddad Michael. It's another deeply emotional and personal song. I really loved the concept of using potentially voicemails or voice messages from her family or from a relative. It meshes well with this song, and it kind of adds to the emotions that are laced in it. But it has this kind of hopeful gospel feeling to it. So I like this.
I like it. It's kind of a bit of a hangover track after the bop that is "Where's My Husband." But it's a good song. I also like the whole like Frank Ocean's done that. I think Kanye's done it. Like
Chance has done it.
Chance has done it.
Eminem's definitely done it.
Eminem and Rosenberg have done it quite a bit. A little bit different vibe from this.
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's always a cool little thing to do.
Yeah, very. I guess hangover song is the right way to describe this. It's good. It's interesting. I don't know. It didn't leave a lasting impact with me the way the rest of the album did, but it's good upon a re-listen. I'm listening to it right now, and I think maybe like I said, an hour and 17 minutes. It's like I was interested, but it's like I had to take some breaks. 17 tracks is a lot. It's a lot for my ADHD brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, same here. Now, Joy is the 15th track, featuring Amma and Absolutely. I do not know who those individuals are, assuming they're vocalists, but this song does not jive with me. Too upbeat, too consistently upbeat, and I really wanted more of the deeper emotional soul, slow, down-tempo vibe of the previous track. So this is a bottom track for me, Joy is.
And Absolutely has over 2.5 million monthly listeners, and Amma has almost 1 million, just so you know. So this would be considered kind of like a powerhouse track, I suppose, of 3 very popular singers, but I've never heard of any of them until we listened to this album. So I'm not. This is a dies for me, or a bottom track. I think that rounds out my 6. I did not enjoy it very much at all. There's too much going on. It's too hectic.
Yeah, that's one thing that kind of stuck out to me too. It is a little hectic. I do really like the instrumentation. I like the horns in it a lot. But yeah, I had the same thought. I was like, man, there's kind of a lot going on here. I don't know. I didn't dislike it, but it was like almost kind of like, you guys know I like to use the word jarring. It was a little jarring, just a tad bit jarring, but still thought it was cool. I really like the horns in it. So yeah.
Yeah. Blake, I'm in the standing mode, by the way, just so you know.
Very nice, very nice.
Blake's laying down on the ground right now, for all we know.
Literally.
I was going to say, let me see if I can get my cam back. Oh
right,
no!
well,
I think I'd have to leave and come back. Oh wait, hang on. Oh, okay, we're back. We're back.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah,
nice,
hell yeah,
nice. I just realized you have your dogs on your T-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, the Riley and Ruby tee.
Nice.
Damn, I kind of need one of those.
Carly made this for me. Carly made this for me and Amanda. We have matching ones.
Nice.
That is sick. That is sick. All right, so the penultimate track, did we decide that's the way to say that? So
yeah, that's it.
Happier Times Ahead. Happier Times Ahead. For me, it's kind of a closing feel-good vibe track. Nothing dramatic. I mean, yeah, by this point in the album, I was kind of like, what is Finn going to be like? That was kind of really where my mind was. What is this last track going to be? So didn't put a lot of emotional thought into it. It feels good. It's kind of refreshing, but nothing crazy to write home about.
I like this as a penultimate track. I think it's a good little like about to send off. You know, it's kind of, I don't know if you notice me kind of doing a little bopping over here, but like it's nice. The little jazzy horn section like almost sounds like a piano bar type track. I enjoy this a lot. Her vocal range once again just kind of like pops off here.
Yeah, wonderful vocal range. This song is like an ice cold lemon LaCroix on a hot day. Oh. That's what this song is. That's really the vibe I get from it. I like it a lot. This is very much small, intimate room. Maybe the encore track, or maybe just came back from set break, and this is what we're opening up set 2 with. That's what I hear here. So I really liked it. I thought it was cool. Good penultimate track.
Yeah, looking up set list would be interesting, I guess, now that we have some familiarity with this album, to see how it's kind of put together in a live setting in the goddamn O2 Arena. That would be interesting. So last track, Finn. It was a letdown for me just because once you realize what this track is, or at least the last 5 minutes of this track is, she's listing off all the credits of everyone who's participated in this album or influenced her in some way. What did y'all think about that? Utilizing,
I think more people need to do it.
There's a rapper I think more people need to do it. Was it a JID album? I want to say it was.
Jay-Z.
I don't remember. No, JID.
No, JID. I feel like maybe like the Forever Story, like the last song. No, the last song's 2007, an absolute banger. I don't remember, but there's a rapper that's done like a similar thing where he starts like listing off like all the credits of everyone who worked on the album. I think it's fun. I mean, it's a fine way to finish, but it's like kind of like the last song, or the penultimate song was actually the ultimate song, if you will.
I get it. Blake, what'd you think?
Yeah, I think Happier Times Ahead is a better closing track, but I think it's cool that she did this. I definitely think it's cool. And I think it's cool because like, I don't know, it to me like almost means more to have your name on a track or have some sort of shout out on an actual recording, like on a track, than having just your name in the credits of an album, right? Because nobody reads anymore. There's a literacy epidemic out here, and so people aren't reading. So it's good to put it out into the world,
Yeah, and I think it ties the whole album together if you stick with this kind of stage show like mentality approach to this. It's the curtain call. It's like everyone's on stage and she's making sure everyone gets their due. So I mean, it's a lot of class for somebody who gets 40 million listens a month to take the time to list out everyone who has participated. So I mean, I appreciate that a lot.
Very true. All right,
ratings.
That was it. Let's do ratings. Anthony, you start us off.
So I'm giving this a 7.5. I mean, it blew I didn't have any expectations going into it, but initially I was like, I'm probably not going to love this. We'll just see what happens. But I mean, the first 7 tracks really kind of put me in a headspace to drink it all in. So 7.5 for me. It's a solid piece of work, I think.
Trey,
You're a solid piece of work.
Ooh.
I give it a solid 7. Also, kind of didn't really know what to expect, but isn't it just kind of mind blowing? There's artists that are this big that we've never heard of in any way. Up until
we're fucking old, dude.
Yeah, we're
fucking
old.
old.
I think that's mainly what our issue is here, is that we're very, very old.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, solid 7, and it's a positive 7. It's like an uplifting 7.
I hope.
But yeah, what'd you think? Yeah, like a hopeful 7, and the music did have hope.
It definitely.
Especially that one song that I like so much that I can't remember the name of now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I give it a 9. I think it's fucking phenomenal.
Wow,
I really like it.
Dude.
I genuinely on first listen, I almost went 10. That's how much I liked it. But the 2 songs that Trey likes that I hate, Lifeboat and I Hate the Way I Look Today, those
Lifeboat.
songs like that knocks it down for me. So it's a 9. I love this type of music. If you can do it right and you can do it well, it gets infinite listens from me. There are times where like all I want is to listen to music like this that's good, and there's not a lot of artists out there that can pull this off. So I love that it goes in a bunch of different directions. I think it's great. And just so you know, I texted Amanda. She does know Raye and she really likes Raye. So now we know.
Nice.
That answers that question. Yeah. I said none of us had ever heard of her. We just listened to it for this, and she was like, "No way, where the hell have you guys been?" So we're behind the times.
You're ripe old.
Yeah, she said you're right.
How have you not shown me Raye before? You should have thrown it right back.
Yeah,
you gotta expose. Somebody's got to expose you.
True.
Right.
Okay. Wheel of Fate. No, not Wheel of Fate time. Rides or Dies.
Yeah.
Trey came in with an instant vibe switch with his Rides or Dies, so I'd like him to start us off. He said, "Enough with the happiness. It's time to be miserable, boys."
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I haven't really done this in a long time, but yesterday Anthony and I got to spend a little time together. That's not what I had done in a long time, although we haven't done that in a long time. But we got to spend a little time together with Seasick Records. It was nice. I went to Seasick Records, browsed around for a while. I was looking through the used records section, and I picked out this album based entirely on its vibe. And then I listened to the first song on the record player, and I was like, I like the song. I'm going to buy this record. So I bought it. And the name of the band is Common Sage, and the song that I selected is the first song on that album, which is Daydream. At first, it kind of starts in this like kind of like post rock, like kind of math rocky type vibe. And the guy kind of has this almost like a brand new type of vocal, which I really enjoy, and most people I think don't. Not most people, but I don't think you guys do. So I'm curious to hear what you thought about Common Sage.
I
go ahead and give it your dollars.
Yeah, I thought I recognized the album artwork, but I didn't know where from. So I'm glad you cleared that up, because I must have spotted it yesterday or spotted it in your stack. But so,
right,
never heard of this band before. I like the instrumentation. Not a huge fan of the vocals, and their vocals aren't really super prominent. But I do like the sounds that they're making. So I'm curious to give this album a little run through. We'll see what happens, but it rides for me.
Nice. I'm glad you like it. I think you like the album. I listened to the whole thing yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. It's also pretty short too. It's only like 30 minutes.
Perfect.
This was a rough listen for me. This was a rough listen for me. It was very soul crushing and depressing, and not really what I wanted to listen to coming off of Raye, which is very uplifting for me. So it's a dies. This was like, you asked me last week or last episode if I was okay. Are you okay? Like this is you're in the depths, brother. You are in the depths if you're vibing to this.
Man.
But you know what? Everybody has their preferences. It's got a time and a place. So
yeah. So we're still breathing. I'll tell you that much, buddy.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Blake, why don't you go next?
Okay, I brought Mahogany Caskets by Rick Ross, and I brought this because Rick Ross' album just came out. I'm like halfway through it. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's great. I think it's, there's some good tracks on there. I brought this because T.I. is rapping his ass off on this song. And that I just had to point that out. T.I. still has it. The voice still got it. So I had to bring it just so you guys know T.I. can still bring it if he wants to. So that was my main driving factor for this. What did you guys think?
So I'll say okay, Trey, go.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You, Trey, you.
I think it was so nice to hear T.I. rapping his ass off. I actually saw something, a movie, I forget what movie it was now, but like he was in the other day, and I was like, "Fuck, man, I forgot about T.I." Man, this guy can spit, you know. So I'm giving this one a hard rides.
Fuck yeah!
Also, Rick Ross on a hook also always sounds nice.
True.
Yeah, I'm really torn on Rick Ross. Like personally, I think Rick Ross used to be a prison guard or corrections officer.
Yeah,
and then he got rich making rap, and then now he's a gangster. I don't know. I just don't like Rick Ross personally, so it's hard for me to get past that. It's hard for me to get past the sample that's looping in the background. It's really distracting to me, but T.I. was refreshing. I like T.I. Always been a fan of T.I. and wish that he was still as prominent as he used to be musically. He might be. Who knows? I've been under a rock apparently for a year or two. So, but this song dies for me.
Fair.
How's the Big X the Plug track? Have you listened to it?
It left some to be desired.
Were you well?
T.I. and Big X?
No, Rick Ross.
Big X the Plug. Yeah, Rick Ross and Big X. I wanted more. I expected it to be better than it was.
It's okay.
Anthony, what did you bring?
Anthony?
Yeah, so I brought a song from the brand spanking new Bootsy Collins and Buckethead record. It's called Mental Health, and it's a great listen, I think. And this song's about halfway to the middle to end part of the album. I don't know where it's at, but the song's called Free Bucket, and it bangs. It's really hard. It's really downbeat. It's a groove you can get into. Bootsy Collins is slapping the bass, Buckethead shredding himself. But this is the first song that I'm aware of that Buckethead is vocalizing on. Like, you hear his voice, he's talking in his kind of, he has a very shy voice, but he also gets silly with it too. So I'm just so glad to hear Buckethead's voice on the track. This song bangs. The next song is equally as great. It's a whole different vibe from Buckethead. But I was stoked. I was listening to this in my bed. It was literally probably 12:30 or something. I was sleeping in bed. Saw this album came out, just looked at the track list, saw a track called Free Bucket, and I was like, I'm going to listen to this. And hearing his voice, I was just like, good for him. Super stoked. And I figured y'all would like this track too, hopefully. So we'll see.
It was a fucking face melter, I'll tell you that much. It was definitely a face melter. So for that reason, it gets a ride. It goes extremely hard. Yeah, it was good. It was kind of a shock to go from Raye to Trey's song to this. So it's kind of, there was a lot of vibes all over the place, but it was good. I give it a ride.
For me, it's gonna get a dies. It's just a little too weird for me, a little too primacy. It's not against Buckethead, it's against Bootsy Collins in this case, I think. I know Buckethead's near and dear to your heart. It's not bad. It's just out there. It's either boom, 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 boom. It's not quite my tempo. I got a quick second.
I got you. I'm gonna find your Buckethead tempo over time. I will figure it out.
But
I knew that we've done a couple Buckethead albums, but we've done more softer Buckethead albums, which is like the lane that I like mostly from him, the dreamscape, like avant-garde kind of Buckethead. But this is definitely a slap in the face. So it's a whole different side of him. But that guy is so diverse that you just take one step into his catalog and you'll go in infinite different directions. So I'll figure that out over time.
Real mixed bag today with the rides or dies.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes sometimes. That's why we do it,
That's why we do it.
Okay, let's get into the Odyssey. So you guys saw it yesterday together or what?
We saw it today. We hung out 2 days in a row, baby.
Oh shit! Fresh on the brain.
Yeah. I kind of almost wanted to start out the pod with talking about.
I felt that too.
Yeah.
We did it
it.
right.
Yeah.
So this is this was a collective pick. This was all of our first watches. So just so you guys know, I did not see it in 70 mil. We have a 70 mil theater here in Colorado. It's sold out for the next like month and a half. So I don't know when the hell that's going to happen. I watched it on a Cine XL screen, which is like the Dolby version of IMAX, basically. So still a good experience. Packed fucking house. I don't know if I told you guys, there was somebody. Did I tell you guys about what happened to me in this movie? Somebody next to Amanda. Okay. There's somebody next to Amanda that was like talking for the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Did you have to say something?
Were you the only one that said something?
Yes. And so the first 20 minutes goes by and I'm like, all right, man, like, how long is this going to go on? It may not even been 20 minutes. It may have been like 10. But then like, I can't hear him as well as Amanda because Amanda's in between me and the guy. And so Amanda like kind of looks over at me and I'm like, okay, let's like give it a second. So then he talks again. So I lean forward and I go, hey, everybody can hear you, by the way. And they're like, oh, sorry.
Like perfect first way to start.
Yeah, I would have done the exact same thing.
So here's the thing. I was pissed. So I was going to lean forward and be like, shut the fuck up. But I didn't. I kept my cool. I said, hey, everybody can hear you. So I'm walking out of the theater. The guy's behind me. And he goes, hey, young man. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So I turn around. And he's like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm with my blood son and my adopted son. And they don't know anything about the Odyssey. He's like, I've been waiting for this movie for 2 years. Like, I just got too excited, blah, blah. I told him, I go, look, man, like, I appreciate something. Yeah, well, and that's why I said, look, I'm glad that people are excited about movies again. I think that's really cool. Like I said, but you know, we want to be in that world, like when we're watching it, right? Like in my head, I'm like, you had ample opportunity to explain this story. You had 3,000 years to explain this story. To tell this story before now, but I didn't.
Got excited.
Yeah, he was just excited. So I was like, all right, you know what,
man.
I'll let it slide. And he stopped and he apologized. So but
yeah, like a best case scenario. At least he wasn't like, hey, don't tell me to shut up, you know, whatever. He's like, hey, I'm sorry. This is why I did that. Yeah, you know what? I respect that guy.
I let it slide.
He made a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. It happens. But yeah, I thought it was loud as shit. I don't know if it was loud as fuck for you guys, which I thought was awesome.
It took me a second. I was like, this is really fucking loud. Like, and then my ears kind of adjusted and I was like, okay, like I'm fine. Like it's not gonna be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, you guys know I'm not a massive Nolan fan. There are 2 Nolan movies that I absolutely adore and will always adore, but I'm not a Nolan dick rider. So I went in, you know, apprehensive. I didn't remember much about the Odyssey. The Odyssey, crazy fucking story, poem, whatever Homer was doing with that. That shit was
it's nuts.
It's a lot.
Wild.
It's nuts. But
I
thought it was good.
Like,
I
can't believe someone wrote this 3,000 or whatever, like, you know, however long ago, like just the levels of, you know, like symbolism and all of that type of stuff before anything existed in this realm was like really cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was gorgeous.
And he didn't even write it, right? Wasn't it initially a spoken word thing? Like it was word of mouth or something like that?
I don't know. I'm just showing my ignorance here.
I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly either, but I mean, that's storytelling in 1500 BC, whatever it was, you know? I mean, it's going to start that way until it gets documented. And
no, I think
it was originally in Greek, or Latin maybe. So I mean, that's going to take time to translate anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, Trey.
Yeah, it was divided into 24 books, but it was written. Anyway, dude, is like I am a Nolan dick rider, I guess. The only movie I don't really like is Tenet because it's objectively terrible. But dude, that movie was gorgeous, and the whole like thing with the IMAX being able to get close up, like it really did make a huge difference when those like close up scenes, because we saw it in IMAX. I guess it's like the digital 70 millimeter, so it's not the actual 70 millimeter film. Is that right, Anthony? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I mean, so like it was shot in IMAX. So if you go, like I saw it in 70 millimeter and it was beautiful, but the sound doesn't translate like it would in an IMAX actual theater room, you know? So,
Gotcha.
I mean, either way you see this movie, it's going to be beautiful because of how it's shot, regardless. You know, like the whole movie shot on IMAX. But yeah.
But yeah, those close-up shots were sick. That scene where they're in the storm and all the guys die. Spoiler alert. Sorry. Like, dude, I've never seen a storm scene so realistic and just like absolutely fucking insane. The guy next to me on the right had to put his head down during because it was just like the flash
really?
was so I noticed he was an older gentleman and I saw him like put his head down and I was like, is this guy falling asleep during like this loud as fucking crazy bright scene? I was like, no, because then like he put it right back up as soon as it ended. I was like, no, he's having to like guard his eyes. But yeah, I thought that was awesome. You know, I thought the pacing of the movie was really good. Like Anthony at the end of it, he was like, that didn't feel like 3 hours, did it? And I was like, it really didn't. I mean, I think it's like 2:45, but either way. I thought for such a long movie, which usually can be or sometimes can be a drag, the pacing was great. I don't know. I thought it was like 10 out of 10, honestly. Like definitely movie of the summer. I think it's gonna be weird seeing Spider-Man this weekend after seeing that, like, and just like the practical effects and like how real you can tell everything is and the big like wide like sweeping shots. And I'm gonna go and watch Marvel CGI, which I mean I'm not upset about it because I love that shit. But
yeah.
But it's nice seeing this done on such a massive scale, you know. Like our theater, we saw it at, I guess the movie started at 1:00, but it was like a 12:30 bill time. Was packed today. Like, I mean, it's the biggest theater, the biggest room they have at the theater was packed.
Yeah.
So I love seeing the like culture really gravitate towards this. You know, like I'm a huge fan of Greek mythology, and I always have been, and I've seen so many different iterations of this story. To see Nolan's iteration of this story was phenomenal. You know, I mean, like the reality of the story is like Homer's not a great. I mean, not Homer. Odysseus is not a great guy. You know, like he's realizing in this kind of tale that he's been a villain with from the other people's perception. You know, perspective. Like they're the people from the sea. You know, breaking Zeus's law and causing all this carnage, and then ultimately he's having to pay this price. And like the story itself, I mean, I think it's like 7 to 10 years he's gone before, like from Troy, he's gone, and there's so much that goes on with like him and Calypso on the island, him and Charlize Theron on the island that doesn't really get divin into in this telling of the story. But like I love the sorceress Circe, the transformation scenes, you know, like where she's manipulating their faces and like
fuck,
wild,
dude.
fucking super weird,
scary shit. Yeah.
The when
the way they're eating the food is super scary.
Yeah.
Like they're like
yeah, they can't stop.
I love the image of the whirlpool. Like that, it's just majestic, you know, and being like you're on the boat approaching it too, like just from the shot that they were able to get. But then right after that, when the Scylla, the monster comes out of the cave, the first the first guy that gets bitten off the boat, the lady next to me jumped, and I have not sat next to someone who jumped that much, like in one moment. And she kind of caught herself. She grabbed the guy next to her and was like, "Oh my gosh," trying to bring her heart rate back down. But this movie was intense. The sounds were intense. I love the score in this, and this the second viewing, I was able to focus a lot more on the sounds versus how is this story going to be told, right? So it pays off. And second time I watched it, it felt like it flew by. Like I felt like even as I was watching the movie, I'm like, damn, we are cruising through this movie. But like that's how a story like this can be told, and I think he did a phenomenal job.
So the reason he pisses Poseidon off is because he stabs the Cyclops, right? Because he blinds the Cyclops. That's why Poseidon gets pissed.
There's that, and I mean, like Odysseus, like is defiant with.
He's defiant of the gods.
Like the gods
the whole thing.
Yeah. So the winds and the water and all these things are all the elements that are in this movie is the presence of the gods. But like Polyphemus, I think his name is Polyphemus. The Cyclops is, Poseidon's son. But
Poseidon's son, yeah, okay. Yeah, I will tell you guys this. I came away the biggest takeaway I had with everything in the movie was, for the first time in my life, being really, really blown away by Matt Damon and Matt Damon's performance.
Dude,
like,
oh my
that was the
God.
one thing. It wasn't Nolan, it wasn't Bernthal or Tom Holland. It was like, man, Matt Damon is that guy. Like, and like he's been in a ton of great movies and is a prevalent, very popular actor, but this movie, like, the range that he shows and just his ability, the beard he grew for it, like everything he did to commit to Odysseus, that was like my big takeaway. It was like, man, this guy is really fucking good at what he does.
Yeah,
when he took his shirt off, I was like, dude, how old are you? Aren't you like almost 60 and you're just stacked? Like, he looked great. And his whole like monologue at the end, that like tone of atonement, and not to like get to whatever, but like, I think there's a lot of parallels as far as like defying Zeus's law and like kind of what we're doing to our current civilization. And that's kind of what that monologue at the end feels like. It's like, like we're seeing civilization collapse around us in real time. And like, it's because we're violating all these laws of like peace and whatever. And like, so the way that he like delivers that with like that tone of atonement and like, regret and whatever, like, I mean, the monologue is just absolutely beautiful. Like, no part of that happens without him super committing to the bit.
Yeah, I will say them being mean to the dog really upset me and Amanda. I did not like that shit
Anthony
at
to the
all.
point where he sat up out of his chair. I noticed that he got physically anxious.
I didn't like that shit at all. But I do like the fact that he does get to see Odysseus before he dies. Like, he was waiting for his dad to come home, and his dad comes home, and he's like, all right, I'm good now. I'll catch you guys later.
When they threw the puppy off the hill at the very beginning, Anthony literally starts shaking his head.
Well, it got me the first time I watched it. I was like, damn, like, just no disregard to this motherfucker. But I love the fact, like, this movie is such a contemporary telling because of all the known actors they're using, right? All these familiar faces, right? And the language that they're using. Like, I mean, everyone's just kind of talking in their normal voice. Even Mia Goth and Pattinson.
I did like that they didn't use like British accents to portray, Greek characters.
And they didn't, I don't know. So like Zendaya and Charlize Theron, you can notice, like, they have earring holes in their ears, Something that I noticed just by watching the movie that I was like, that's interesting, that one, because you can easily make that go away, right? Choosing not to make it go away, and obviously having everyone just kind of talk in their normal voice. So it was like they're all, players in this big story, which is, that's the Odyssey in itself, right? Bunch of characters.
Yeah, it was very good. I left like, I don't think I'm not going to love any Nolan movie the way I love Dunkirk and Oppenheimer, but I left very, very impressed with it. And like, I think it's great that for better or worse, like, Nolan really has kind of solidified himself as the guy. Like, he's our generation's, like, whether you want it to be Spielberg or Kubrick or whoever it is, he's really that for our generation. And when his name is attached to something, for us, people like Fincher, Denis will draw us to a movie, but Nolan will draw everybody to a movie, and I think that's good for movie theaters. But yeah, I thought he did a good job. But to me, it's less like heroic from a directing standpoint when like that story has been told, and you have thousands of years to kind of see all these interpretations and stuff, versus something like Oppenheimer or Dunkirk that he kind of created his own vision for. But yeah, I thought it was great. I'm really glad I went to go see it. I'm gonna go try to see it again eventually when I can in 70 mil.
Wait, you don't like Inception?
I think Inception has aged horribly. Horribly, not
what about,
horribly.
What about The Dark Knight?
I like The Dark Knight. I think Batman Begins is okay. I think The Dark Knight Rises is okay. I think Tenet is bad.
Tenet's bad.
I want to bring Tenet because I don't feel that same way about Tenet. Like, I had an interesting time with Tenet in the theater.
Oh no, I did too. I couldn't understand a word anyone fucking said.
Yeah, he botched that fucking movie. He botched that movie. But yeah, just as a whole. But also, like, there are also people who I know, people that like they think my Dunkirk obsession is like bizarre, and they don't like Dunkirk and think it's a bad movie. So I think that's just kind of how Nolan is. Like, there's people are gonna have a strong opinion on his movies. That's just kind of how it goes. All right. Well, anything else to say before Wheel of Fate and Time?
Oh yeah. So I'll say this. Both of you guys and maybe listeners, if you go watch there's a Simpsons rendition of the Odyssey, and it's very funny to watch after watching this movie, because the parallels are undeniable visually. Not to say that Christopher Nolan pulled anything from the Simpsons version of this, but I think it's season 13, episode 4, and it's like a there's like 3 mini episodes in one episode, so it's only like 7 minutes long, but like it's worth watching, especially after knowing this story like this now.
Definitely. Okay, so Wheel of Fate and Time. Trey has album, and I have movie. So is it showing album or movie?
It's showing album.
Okay. Okay, so we have artists you've seen live, album that Jim's solo project, an artist from a band, or influenced by another culture. Trey, you ready?
Great categories. First off, yes, Wheel of Fate and Time, Wheel of Fate and Time, Wheel of Fate and Time. Hell yeah. So we are going to do
solo project.
We're going to do, it's a relatively short album, so it'll be easy. I know we're kind of in the throes of summer. We're all busy. We're going to do Laid Back. The first Greg Allman solo album came out in 1973. Pretty interesting.
Greg Allman?
Yes, Greg Allman, 1973.
Okay,
it's called Laid Back.
Okay. Greg Allman, 1973. Okay. Sweet.
We're back.
Oh, yeah, we're having all sorts of internet issues. Hopefully it gets worked out in post.
Almost there. So Laid Back, 1973, Greg Allman.
Correct.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, and then for movies, we have. Is this showing movies? I can't tell. I'm assuming it is.
Yes.
It is.
Okay. So we have Jackass film, documentary, personal top 10, Terry. How do you say this guy's name? Gilliam?
Yeah, Terry Gilliam.
Gilliam film, and Spinner's Choice. All right, here we go. I have one specific one I really want this to win.
Oh, we're gonna find out, and so I can give you a little debriefing.
Oh, it's still good. Okay.
So Terry Gilliam is a director who got his start in the Monty Python circle. So he's older, but as far as his contemporary movies, he's done 12 Monkeys, wild movie featuring Bruce Willis. He's done Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He did Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, which is Heath Ledger's last movie. And I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but he's one of my favorite directors, and I figured we bring a quirky guy to the podcast.
Well, I don't think. Oh, I lost.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Definitely.
Sick. Hell yeah.
Sick.
All right.
All right. Shall.
Peace.